It's music theory. Online, let's learn some theory. Online, by watching modules. Online, with music theory. Online.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Module 11 in the Beginning Theory course. We've learned about key signatures, we've learned about major keys, and last week we learned about minor keys. We're going to continue working on minor scales today. Here we go. The last time we talked about minor scales. Remember, major scales and minor scales are both diatonic scales. We have three different types of minor scales. We have the natural minor scale, and that's what we talked about last week. Remember, the natural minor scale has semitones between the second and the third degree of the scale and the fifth and the sixth degree of the scale. The other scale that we're going to cover today is the minor harmonic scale. Just to review, minor scales are formed by going down three semitones and three note names from their major relative. Remember, we're always going down to find the minor. The other way we talked about last time was putting finger 4 of your right hand on the relative major and then going down till you run out of fingers. If you're in a minor key and you have to find the relative major, you put your thumb on the minor tonic and then go up 4 fingers, which is the same as 3 semitones or 3 note names. C major and A minor are relatives. They use exactly the same notes. The difference is that C major starts on C and goes to C. A minor starts on A and goes to A. When you're creating a natural minor scale on white notes, of course you're going to start on A, which is C major's relative. What gives the natural minor scale its unique sound is that there are 2 semitones, one between B and C and one between E and F. A natural minor scale will sound like this. The next scale that we're going to look at is the harmonic minor scale. The difference between the natural minor scale and the harmonic minor scale is that in the harmonic minor scale, the 7th degree is raised. Our A natural minor scale sounds like this. The minor harmonic scale sounds like this. There's the G sharp. To write the minor harmonic scale, you're going to raise the 7th note of the natural minor scale by 1 semitone, ascending and descending. On this example, you'll see that the G sharp is written twice. Normally, you would not write the accidental 2 times. Unless there's a bar line, the accidental would continue. So if you wrote that, I would circle it wrong and say, you're wrong, you shouldn't write it the second time. The only reason that it's written here is to help you see that the G is still sharp. The raised 7th note, which is G, is an altered note and is never found in the natural minor scale or in the relative major scale. Remember, the natural minor scale has exactly the same notes as the relative major. The harmonic minor scale has one altered note, and that's the 7th degree, and the 7th has been raised by a semitone. Remember that minor scales always use major key signatures, so that altered 7th note is never part of the key signature. That altered 7th note is always going to be written as an accidental in front of the 7th note. We have semitones in 3 different places in our minor harmonic scale. We have it between the 2nd and the 3rd degree, which is the same as we saw in the natural minor scale. We also have one between the 5th and the 6th degree, which we also had in the natural minor scale. Now we have an additional semitone between 7 and 8. Remember when you wrote major scales, there was also a semitone between 7 and 8 in major scales. So that might help you remember that the minor harmonic scale has the same semitones as the natural minor plus the 7th and 8th degree. It sounds like this. Whole tone, half step, whole tone, half step. That's a tone and a half there, and then a half step. Here you can see how it relates to the keyboard exactly. Notice between F and G sharp is more than a tone. It's a tone and a half. For those of you that love math and logic, when we add an extra semitone to our harmonic minor scale, that means that our division amongst the other notes is going to be a little bit different, which is why we end up with a tone and a half between the 6th degree and the 7th degree in a minor harmonic scale. Here's the minor harmonic scale written out again for you. You can see from F to G sharp is 1.5 tones. Here we have another scale. This scale is D minor harmonic scale. If we want to find out who D minor's relative is, we would go up 3 semitones and 3 half steps. If this was the natural minor scale, it would just have B flat, and it would sound like this. The minor harmonic scale has the 7th note raised, and the 7th note is C sharp, so it's going to give you that semitone at the top. And the minor harmonic scale is going to sound like this. On this slide, we see G minor harmonic scale. If we go up, we'll discover that G minor is related to B flat major. B flat major has B flat and E flat. So first I'm going to play you the natural minor scale, just as a review. It's only going to have B flat and E flat, and it sounds like this. Now I'm going to play you G minor harmonic scale, which still has the B flat and E flat, but it also has the raised 7th note, which is F sharp. The first scale on the slide is correct. The second scale on the slide is incorrect. Why is it incorrect? Because we have 2 G's. If I was to play you this second one, it's going to sound exactly the same as the first one. Just listen to it. Because G flat and F sharp are enharmonic twins. However, we can't have a G flat because we must use every letter name. We can't go from E flat and just forget about F. We must have an F, which is why it's going to be F sharp and not G flat. Let's just take a minute and see if you can find the relatives here. The first one is done for us. C major's relative is A minor. If you go down from the majors to the minors, you're going to go down 3 semitones, or if you put your finger 4 on C, you're going to go until you run out of fingers, which would be A. Let's see, F major. Who would F major's relative be? I'm going to give you a second to think about it. Did you come up with D minor? Again, use the keyboard down here to go 1, 2, 3, and you would end up on D minor. A major. We're going from the majors to the minors. So we're going to go down, right? So we're starting on A, down to G sharp, to G, to F sharp. So F sharp minor is A major's relative. Next is D major. We're going from the majors to the minors, so you're going to go down. Starting on D, you're going down 3 semitones. So D major's relative is B minor. A flat major. Again, you're going to go down 3 semitones from A flat. Did you come up with F minor? Because that would be correct. Now let's go the other way. We'll start with some minor keys and figure out what the relative major would be. First we have C minor. With the minor keys you're going up 3 semitones, so C minor's relative would be E flat major. F minor, going up 3 semitones from F. If you're at the piano, you'd put your thumb on F and go up to finger 4. And you'd end up on A flat major. It can't be G sharp major because first of all there's no such key as G sharp major. There's G major, but there's no G sharp major. And also you have to go 3 note names, so it has to be A flat major. A minor, going up 3 semitones. Did you say C major? D minor is next. D minor's relative would be F major, and B minor. Did you come up with D major? Because that would be correct. I'm hoping this is helping you get comfortable with going back and forth from majors to minors and what the key signature is. Last time we looked at how you can figure out what the key is when you're given the key signature. Do you remember what I said? You go up a semitone for any keys that have sharps. If you have an F sharp in your key signature, you would go up to G. So you look at the last sharp and you go up a semitone. You're going to do the opposite if you're asked to write the key signature for a key that has sharps in it. You're just going to go down a semitone, and that's going to be your last sharp. So in the key of D major, if you go down a semitone from D is C sharp. D major's key signature would be F sharp and C sharp for Father Charles. G major, you would go down a semitone to F sharp, and that would be F sharp for Father. E major, you go down a semitone to D sharp, you would have Father Charles goes down. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. For A major, you go down a semitone to G sharp, so A major's key signature would be Father Charles goes, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. For B major, you would go down a semitone to A sharp, and that would be your last sharp, so the order would be Father Charles goes down and F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, and A sharp. If the key has flats in it, then you're going to add a flat. So A flat major would have B flat, E flat, A flat, plus one more flat, which would be D. Battle ends and down. E flat major would have B flat, E flat, and then add one, A flat. Battle ends and. D flat major would have B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and add one more, G. Battle ends and down goes. G flat major would have B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat. The C flat is the added flat. Battle ends and down goes Charles's. And F major is the exception to the rules. F major has B flat, and you just have to remember it. Just as a review, if the piece has sharps, take the last sharp and go up a semitone. And that's going to give you the key that has that key signature. If the piece has flats in the key signature, you just go to the second last flat, and it's that key. The exception is F major, which only has one flat. So this poor man looks very confused as to what the keys are here. Let's look at the sharps first. We have 5 sharps in the first treble clef, and we know the order is going to be F, C, G, D, and A. The last sharp is A, so we just go up a semitone to B. A sharp to B. So that's the key signature for B major. The second example has 2 sharps, F sharp and C sharp. So you would go up a semitone from C sharp to D. So that's the key signature for D major. On the flat side, the first treble clef has B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. We go to the second last flat, which is A flat, so this is the key of A flat major. And remember, F major is an exception to all of the rules, and F major has B flat. Be careful if you're naming a key that has flats. On this example, the first one with flats is A flat major. You do have to put A flat major. A flat major has 4 flats. A major has 3 sharps. B flat major has 2 flats. B major has 5 sharps. E flat major has 3 flats. E major has 4 sharps. So it's very important when you're writing keys that have flats that you write the flat major. B flat major, E flat major, A flat major, D flat major. So we did some more work today on key signatures. We learned about minor harmonic scales and how you raise the 7th note of the minor harmonic scale. We've also have a tone and a half in the minor scale. From 6 to 7, we have a tone and a half. We've also done some more work with finding relative majors and finding relative minors, and we've done some more work with key signatures. Your assignment for this week is to practice writing those minor harmonic scales and continuing to practice your key signatures. Have a super duper week. Bye-bye.
It's music theory. Online, let's learn some theory. Online, by watching modules. Online, with music theory. Online.